able to follow the law in this case. You don't necessarily have to agree with the law, but all the jurors will have to apply the law as I describe it. So, for jury selection, it's important to know if any of you might have some doubts about whether you can accept and follow these legal principles. So now I'm going to ask you to take out those white cards, please. But before we begin, I understand that sometimes jurors do not fill out the juror questionnaires completely, that sometimes we're in a hurry to get those questionnaires in, or sometimes we think that our situation may not apply to the question that's being asked. So if you know now that you've left something out of the jury questionnaire, tell us at sidebar. Jurors often leave out by mistake things like prior service in the jury, prior experiences in court as a litigant, as a witness, as a criminal defendant in a case. If we notice that your name is not there, if there's an employment history missing, we'll ask you. But if you know in advance, please let us know when you come up to sidebar. All right, my first question. Do any of you folks or a close personal friend or family member know, or have you had any prior dealings with any of the witnesses whose names I read out? Thank you. Do any of you folks or a close personal friend or family member know, or have you had any prior dealings with the lawyers in this case or the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office?
Number 595.
Thank you. Do any of you folks or a close personal friend or family member have any financial or other personal interest whatsoever in this case or its outcome?
Number 568.
Thank you. If you have seen, heard, or talked about this case, please raise your hand now.
Juror number 576. Juror number 569. Juror number 562. Juror 589. Juror 596. Juror 606. Juror 563. Juror 571. Juror 572. Juror 586. Juror 550. Juror 603. Juror 578. Juror 607. Juror 569. Juror 562. And Juror 577. Juror 555. Juror 599. Juror 559. Juror 568. Juror 581. Juror 564. Juror 595. Juror 600. Juror 574. Juror 561. Juror 565. Juror 602. Juror 566. Juror 582. Juror 601. Juror 553. Juror 597. Juror 575. Juror 609. Juror 592. Juror 594. Juror 593. Juror 584. And Juror 558.
Thank you. Please raise your hand if you've expressed or formed any opinion with respect to this case.
Juror 562. Juror 569. Juror 596. Juror 603. Juror 578. Juror 607. Juror 606. Juror 586. Juror 563. Juror 571. Juror
602.
Thank you. Are any of you folks aware of any bias or prejudice that you may have in regard to this case or in favor of or against either of the parties? Please raise your hand.
There are 595. There are 555. There are 599. There are 559. There are 568. There are 564. There are 602. There are 566. There are 582. There are 598. There are 593. There are 584.
There are 576.
All right. Do any of you folks have any difficulty hearing or any problem with understanding the English language, any physical or mental condition, or any religious or philosophical beliefs that would interfere with your ability to hear the evidence in this case, to understand the evidence, to concentrate during the trial, or to deliberate for the purpose of reaching a verdict? If so, please raise your hand.
Juror 577. Juror 569. Juror 607. Juror 550.
Juror 561. Juror 600. Juror 611.
Thank you. Would any of you folks have any difficulty understanding and following those very important constitutional principles that I've outlined for you? First, that the burden of proof rests entirely on the Commonwealth. Second, that the burden of proof is proof beyond a reasonable doubt and to a moral certainty. And third, that the defendant has absolutely no burden to do anything. She doesn't have to testify. She doesn't have to present any evidence. Her lawyers don't have to ask a single question. Anyone that would have difficulty following those very important constitutional principles, please raise your hand.
Juror 561.
Thank you. I can tell you folks that after every trial, I talk to jurors, and they tell me that not only was their jury experience an interesting one, most times they tell me that it was a very rewarding one. But I do understand that for some of you folks, serving on this jury may be an undue hardship. Let me tell you what I mean about that. Every civic duty we have causes us to be inconvenienced. An undue or a substantial hardship is much greater than that. It means that it's something personal to you so that you don't serve, but the person next to you has to take your spot. I generally think of it in terms of if you're a student or if you have airline tickets or surgery scheduled for the period of time that we'll be in trial. But I will hear anyone who thinks they have a substantial hardship. So if you think you fall into that group, please raise your hand now.
Juror 589, Juror 596, Juror 569, Juror 562, Juror 577, Juror 607, Juror 578, Juror 603, Juror 590, Juror 572, Juror 571, Juror 576.
Juror 611. Juror 598. Juror 595. Juror 553. Juror 581. Juror 568. Juror 566. Juror 559. Juror 599.
Juror 561. Juror 574. Juror 575.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to leave the bench in a minute to give you a chance to fill out the questionnaires. I ask that you not talk to anyone as you fill out these questionnaires or share any information with the prospective juror regarding any questions or comments or concerns you may have about jury duty in general or jury duty on this case. So we'll get you those forms, and we'll see you in a little while.
All rise for the court, please.